For Lee Montgomery to bring us up to date on the latest membership ideas that will increase our district size.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, I'm trying to get the screen to share. Excuse me. Before we get too far away from visioning, I would like to emphasize one thing. Maybe you saw in the upper left-hand corner of that grid sheet that it said RI goals. It's really not Rotary International's intent to have a club have their follow anything from RI. It is your club's goals. It is your club's identity that's important that you get to organize and put in a strategic plan. So it's based on your club and your community, and it's nothing from district. We lead you through a structured conversation with questions, but you provide all the answers and you determine what it is you want to do. So I think that's the most important thing. So thanks, Sam. That was a great presentation. I'd like to talk a little bit about membership. I'd like this to be interactive. So I'm going to ask you for some ideas and get some exchange going here a little bit in this segment. Let me start my timer. The question, I'd like to start off with a question or two. Do you know your community's needs in terms of local service? Have you made a list of things that your club can do for your community? Have you looked at international opportunities? Does your club participate not only locally, but globally in international service? Are you raising all the money that's needed to address those needs, both locally and globally? If you're not addressing all the needs that you see in your community or in the world, how can you get there? You need more people. You need to grow Rotary. You need to give the gift of Rotary to those that are not yet members. So what I'd like to do is give you a little bit of an overview of our trends in the district, and then show you a video, a short video, and then have some discussions. So we'll get the bad news out of the way early. From July to the present time, according to the latest RI report, we're slightly down on membership. The good news is that we have almost 33% female participation as members. Among our zone, we have the 6th highest female percentage. So congratulations to those clubs that have a good mix of boys and girls. We have increased our female membership 10% in the last 4 years. We're up to 488 members as having the ladies involved in Rotary. Under 40, we've had a huge increase in the last 4 years. So thanks to your initiative, and thanks to people like Sarah Fox for teaching us about how to connect with the younger membership, potential members. So I think as we get more experience with Facebook, Instagram, and the like, we'll even see that number go up as well. So far this year, 20 clubs have added new members. That's great. But we've lost some, so we're down in a net sort of way. So far this year, South Tyler is in the lead with a +9 membership. Tyler, Rotary Club, and Texarkana Wilbur Smith are up 4 each. Cedar Creek Lake, Parish United, and the E-Club leaders have each added 3. Those are the current leaders in the membership arena. 2 clubs have had gains with no losses. Nearly every club that did have gains had several losses. But Gilmer and West Bowie County gained 2 members and had 0 losses. That's a place for all of us to aspire to. Okay. Everybody has a residence. Everybody has a town that they're connected to. So what I'm going to share with you is something that a few of you have seen before, but I'd like everybody to see it. And it's a little video called Anytown. See if we can get this thing to play. Okay, we don't have sound yet, eh?
Not yet.
Okay, we're going. Here we go. Backed it up. Well, it's not cooperating on the sound part.
Lee, we're not seeing it on our screen either.
It's not, okay. Thank you,
We
John.
just have a screen that says resources, your town is any town.
Okay. Let me think here. We got to get back to, okay, I need to stop sharing a part of the screen.
Need to stop sharing the resources and then go and share the video screen.
Okay, we're getting there.
And Lee, when you
where's-
share the screen for the video, make sure
Yeah.
you check the box that says share computer sound. So that way we can hear the audio.
Roger that. Okay, getting there. Let's get. Where is the share computer sound? Here we go. Found that. Can you see
As
it?
Rotary, we often ask ourselves, how do we grow? Personally, professionally, and organizationally? The answer is
Where did
simple.
the sound go?
To grow Rotary, we need more Rotary. We often ask ourselves, how do we grow? Personally, professionally, and organizationally? The answer is simple.
Say
To
that one
grow
more time.
Rotary, we need more Rotary clubs. Let's use Anytown as an example. Anytown is a city of 100,000 people and home to one proud Rotary Club. But there are hundreds of
I
other
don't hear
people
a
of
thing.
action, just like us, who are uniquely qualified to become Rotary members. They share the same drive
Okay, good.
and represent the values and fundamentals of a Rotary member. So why aren't they members? Well, the current club meets on Monday. There are leaders in Anytown who can't meet on a Monday. By excluding this segment, the potential members in Anytown has shrunk. Now consider, what if the meeting is at noon on Monday? There are people who can meet on Monday, but can't meet at noon. So now we have a smaller audience for Rotary in Anytown. Of the remaining group, some aren't interested in a club with a sit-down lunch and speakers. They are passionate about service, but aren't interested in a traditional club experience. And that is okay. The Rotary Club of Anytown isn't doing anything wrong. It just doesn't appeal to particular segments of the community. And if we're going to thrive for years to come, we must adapt and embrace change. In any town, we have an opportunity to expand because potential members are everywhere. More than half of the eligible people are prospective Rotary members, waiting to make a bigger impact in their community. But what Rotary Club exists for them? If any town creates new clubs at new times and new places, the hidden potential for Rotary will be revealed. As people of action, we must broaden our reach and provide opportunities to all leaders in the community. Together, all of us can grow Rotary.
Okay, and we're back. Maybe.
You
Are we back?
You're
You
back.
are-
Hey! Oh, this is fun. Okay. Okay. What would a new Rotary Club look like in your town? So some reactions to the video, some of the ideas in the video. What do you think?
Lee, I know the Tyler area does not have a night club.
Could be. How many? You think it would support more than one?
Maybe one to start.
One to start.
Lee, Jerry Porter,
Yes.
Atlanta.
Jerry.
Would it be better to start a second club or to start a satellite club, say for the night people?
What do you think?
Well, we're going to try satellite.
You know, even if you get a few people to meet, the definition of a satellite club is 8 members. But what if you start with 4 and grow that? You know, you may not hit 8 right off the bat, but if you get 4, 5, 6, and you slowly grow it to an 8-member group, you can claim satellite club status. But one of the advantages to the Atlanta club would be that they all are your members starting out.
Hey, Lee.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Dennis Kays.
Hey, Dennis.
One thing, as you know, from our visit to our club, something we have talked about, we haven't implemented yet, but we're looking, and hopefully the membership will kind of fall in line with a little bit, is instead of meeting at noons or breakfast, have more, instead of every noon meeting every week, have evening meetings, having breakfast meetings, during the month, and starting to get away from specifically the same time every week, day in, day out, week in, week out. I mean, to attract those members who even, we got members who their jobs have changed or their schedules have changed at their jobs, and it's hard for them to get to the noon meetings. We got one of our members who teaches at Kilgore College. He's got a noon class, and it's going to be that way, through the next couple of periods. So those kind of things, clubs got to just start thinking into the idea that it's not going to be the traditional meeting dates each week. They're going to have to find a way to accommodate other club members, in meetings in order to keep them involved.
Right.
Along with the virtual, and some can do it virtual, but some still like to be in person at some point. Thank you. I'll leave it at that.
I would like to say that I had a pleasure of visiting Kilgore a couple of weeks ago and spent some time with the club, and they told me about having a Saturday meeting at a coffee shop and then going out to deliver essentially Meals on Wheels for one of the churches in the local area. So they incorporated a service project, but they also incorporated a little bit of fellowship or a meeting on a Saturday morning for a little bit of time. And that gave people that could not come into that Wednesday noon box an opportunity to engage with the club. So you don't have to meet in a club meeting at noon every day if that's your typical format. I was at another club recently and shared this video, and a couple of the members even said, we didn't know that we could have the flexibility to meet in other ways. We thought we had to meet at noon and have a program and a speaker, and that was the definition of Rotary. Think outside the box. Be evolving in the way you have your club meetings. That is part of the innovation that we can see now with, due to the COVID situation. Think about different days, different times. What about the frequency? Maybe you want to keep the basic format, but only do it twice a month. I've heard ideas from some clubs that are saying, we're going to have a social once a month. We're going to have at least one service program, service project per month. And maybe they cut back on their traditional meetings. Do you always have to have a meal? I would substitute donuts and coffee for a meal, personally. So I like John Jetter's idea.
There should always be food, though. That's
Yeah.
a good.
Food and Rotary goes together. I have to agree. Yeah. What about your membership? Go ahead.
Okay, one of the things we've done in Atlanta in anticipating this evening satellite club, because we have 2 doctors who can't make it at noon, and so that we'll have some of our members kind of be fluid and flowing back and forth. And what we've done in our day meetings, and I think we're still getting used to it, but on the first and third weeks, we have a speaker, we have the traditional thing. And then on the second week, I'm showing videos of we did Jennifer Jones one week. And then on the fourth week, we read the Rotary magazine, or they come and tell me what article they particularly enjoyed or were challenged by or didn't like. And so it kind of forces them to get into that Rotary magazine and find out what's going on outside of our club. So those are just some other ideas.
Exactly. Great ideas.
Hey, Lee.
Go ahead.
This gets into a little bit of a public image or social media discussion as well, but we've also tossed around, doing a hybrid meeting over Zoom and possibly having, somewhat of a satellite club type situation, but having it actual be a recording of our Wednesday morning meeting and then having a different group watch that recording just at a different time so that everyone is seeing and getting the same content and discussion.
Yeah, you get double benefit out of the meeting. That's great. You could have the morning meeting and then go with an evening group meeting at a coffee house or a restaurant or whatever, and share that same program or content. Have you looked at different member categories? Inviting family memberships, looking at young professional memberships. Be more open to various other categories.
Lee,
In
Yes.
Atlanta,
the Longview Gregton Club is considering scholarships or basically a lower membership fee with it going up by percentages over years of attendance. In other words, say 50% of the regular member dues. These are for new incoming members, and then increasing it by 50 to 60 to 90 to 100%. We
Have
haven't
a-
actually gone
In
into
Atlanta,
Have a scale on the fees, on the dues?
as long as they remain in members. So
Go-
after
go-
a period of time, 3 to 5 years, they would be paying full membership dues.
That sounds like a good idea.
one of the things we did, and in fact came as a result of visiting an insurance agency, and she said, well, can we join and send our various office people, which was what the corporate idea was. And our club voted to, yeah, and you pay the same rate as what we pay, but we would get more volunteers when we were going to do an activity because we'd have the whole office involved instead of just that member who is the person that owns the agency. So that's another thought.
Exactly. You're engaging more people, but for the dues, and you can set your own corporate structure where, on the dues situation, but they can alternate. Usually it's up to 3 people. And so you get different exposure, different people, and you get more hands for a service project.
Lee, I'll interject that the Longview Club just this month voted on a new young member who is still in college. He was an Interact member in high school, but there's not an active Rotaract club at Laterno or where he is. And so the dues were going to be an issue for him because he's a college student. But just this past week in our board meeting, we voted to only charge him $25 a year or per twice a year for our billing period, $25, as long as he's in college. And then we're going to bump him up when he graduates to be a full dues schedule. And as far as the Rotary International and District dues, that's not going to cover that. But we had 2 board members who said, I'll cover his dues on the district and international level, because here we are trying to get young members, and we've got a college student who wants to be a full-fledged Rotarian. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Basically a sponsorship for that person, that young member. Terrific idea.
So Gay, was he also a RILA member that our club
Yes, he was. He was
sponsored?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was a RILA member also.
So he's one of these Rotary alumni. He's been an Interact member and he's been a RILA member, and now he wants to be a Rotarian. Why should we put barriers up in front of him? I'm excited about it as well.
How many of you, with RILA coming up, how many of you have an intentional plan to invite those RILA members back, not only for a presentation after RILA, but also invite the parents back and try to engage them as future members in your club? I think we lose some potential there. They should be very excited that their children went to RILA, and what better way to support future people than them being involved in Rotary themselves? Another idea, entity-based clubs. What about a business? Tyler has Train Industries, Longview has Komatsu, Laterno, automobile dealers, just throwing out another idea. What if you had a Rotary Club based at a school? Teachers can't come to a noon meeting. Maybe handicapped by coming to a morning meeting, in fact. But would there be some people that would be available for Rotary if they were at a hospital or a college or a school? I think the opportunity exists. It just takes one person in your club to pick up that ball and run with it. And have an information time, an information night, bring out some existing Rotary members, have a little bit of a, wine and cheese or some other kind of a little atmosphere to tell about Rotary, sponsor it at the location. Tell them what you're doing in your community. Tell them the benefit of being a Rotarian. Have the different members speak to the different aspects of Rotary. And I bet you could create a satellite club at a hospital or at a business. The key question in thinking about some of these ideas is what's stopping us from doing it right now. I know we're busy, but if you look for the opportunity and you get one or two people involved, let that be their service project. Taking on that satellite club, taking on that little bit of expansion. You can grow your club, you can grow Rotary, you can grow your service, your fundraising. It impacts everything. Any other questions?
What's stopping us right now is we're out of time because we've got to have past District Governor Carroll come on and show us how to train these new members once we get them. But let's keep these ideas open and share with each other as we go. Thank you.